Oh, beside of us. Listen, all we want is for you to be glorified, for you to be lifted high. All we want is for you to be glorified, for you to be lifted high. Very briefly, I want to speak to you from the subject of it's harvest time. Amen. Somebody shout, it's harvest time. It's harvest time. As we celebrate 4 years, as a church, we had the faith to believe, the fortitude to conceive. So now God has given us a future to receive. Again, I say, since we had the faith to believe, the fortitude to conceive, God has given us a future to receive. And as a result, we cannot become content because yes, we have a harvest, but the reaping process is studying, investing, and working. We live in a world where we feel so entitled to our destiny that we end up forfeiting our destiny because we're waiting on God to do what God has already empowered us to do. Bishop T.D. Jakes said, God does not make chairs. God makes wood, and you make the chair. God supplies the resource, but you supply the response. I say that again. God supplies the resource, but you supply the response. So if there is no response, the resource is restricted. But when God provides a harvest, it is not time to rest. It is now time to reap. And there are some of us in this room, we have sown seed, we have watered it, we made sure that pests and predators stayed away. We've waited all this time, and we finally see a harvest, but we never reap. So it rots and gets contaminated in the field. What was meant to make you successful now makes you sick, because your stagnation suffocated your success. There are some of us who don't have seeds in the ground, so this message will not apply to you. So some of us, we didn't care enough to plant, so this message wouldn't apply to us. But earlier, it was raining on my way to church, and I got excited for the rain because I got seed in the ground. And for those who don't have seed in the ground, the rain is a nuisance. harvest. But on my way to church, God told me to tell you that since you got seed in the ground, and because of the rain, I came to tell you today that I have made a metamorphosis in the ground, and it's harvest time. In our text, Jesus looks out at a field and people, and Jesus sees people, and he sees a harvest. Jesus wants his disciples to understand that their purpose is to reap the harvest that God provided for them. And God is echoing this sentiment through Worship Unlimited Church today. Now, you have worked hard. You sold ads. You sold some chicken dinners. You stayed up. You've heard Pastor rant and rave. You've heard me even say some not so Christian words sometimes. You have suffered in this church. Say that, J.L. You suffered in the heat in this church. And God is saying, because you suffered with me, I will now allow you to reign with me. And to be honest, harvest time sounds inspiring. It does. But I grew up in the country where you had to go and pick what you ate. So your harvest depended upon your hands. And how much harvest you were able to take in depended on how big your hands were. And God is saying in this place that I want to be able to extend your hands so that you can reap the harvest that I have for you. To be honest, every harvest has its inspiration and its issues. So for us to examine our harvest going into our 5th year of ministry, we must understand the issues and the inspiration of harvest. The first issue that we have is problem placement. Somebody shout problem placement. Jesus does not see our problems the way we see them. I came to drop a bomb on you today. I know the bill has been sitting on your table for a long time. I know they told you no several times. You can go back to the scripture. But Jesus does not see your problems the way you see your problems. Then our text, that when the disciples saw a situation, Jesus saw a seed. He says, when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion because they had fainted and they were scattered abroad. And I kept asking God, how in the world did Jesus see these people as seed? And God told me, anything that is scattered is seed. There's some things in our lives that have been scattered all over the place. Y'all can say amen if you want to. There have been some issues and some situations, and we feel like we're all over the place. We're over here, we're over there, and it feels like our lives are scattered and cluttered and misconstrued and chaotic. And God is saying, I have used that scattered moment to be seed in your life, because anything that is scattered becomes seed. And when man sees scraps, Jesus sees seed. And when we look at this community around here, you walk to the corner store next door, you walk down the street, and all you see is scattered seed. And people see scraps, and they see people who are less than, and God is saying seeds to be planted to make a harvest grow. And God is saying, just like it was echoed this morning, that God is waiting on a people that will not look down at people, that will see them as seeds and investments, to invest their lives into people to grow them. And oftentimes, we throw away the seed right along with the core. Because we get mad at God because he gives us an apple core, not realizing that the core contains the seed. And when you plant the seed and do the work, you can have a whole orchard of apples, and not just the one that we want. And we want a fresh, polished apple to come and sit, because we want to eat and we want it to be about ourselves. But God is saying that whenever you do the work and plant the seed, I will be able to bless you, good measure, pressed down, shaking it. I ain't got no church. Running over. All life begins with a seed. Anything God wants to live, he gives a seed. Anytime your life becomes great in the earth, you would have to deposit it into the earth. And it will go into the seed. That's why Jesus came up with all power, because he took his life, crushed it, went into the ground and died and came up as a harvest. Problem placement. Are we seeing our seed as scraps? Do we throw the thing away that could be our blessing? The Bible, Jesus later on goes on in chapter 13, and he starts talking about how the parable of the sower, where he starts sowing seed, and some fell on rocky ground, some fell on thorny ground. And Jesus is saying, where are you putting the seed that I gave you? Are you complaining that I gave you a harvest, but you already threw away the seed? I am by myself in this church. Problem placement. Secondly, there's positive partnership. Shout positive partnership. Positive means an insufficiency or a famine. It is in this text that we see that there is a lack of partnership. Verse number 37 says, he says to his disciples that the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. That Jesus never suggests that there's anything wrong with the harvest. He said that there's something wrong with the people who claim that they're my employees. I ain't got no church. He does not say that there's something wrong with the people that are out there. He's saying that the problem is the lack of partnership in here. That there are more pew members than there are partners in our church. That there are people who are content with getting for themselves and not providing seed for anybody else. God wants to graduate you from the pews to partnership. John Maxwell said, everything rises and falls on leadership. And God is the Lord of the harvest, but you are the leader of the harvest. And God is calling us to partner with him to be able to work and do what has been called to do. It is not going to happen until we make it happen. And so sometimes you are your own deliverer. Jump in it yourself and do what God has empowered you to do. Stop complaining about how bad your life is and jump in and do what God has created you to do. God has created everything inside of you, but he's waiting on you to partner with you, because where 2 or 3 are gathered in, y'all ain't got no. I will be there in the midst. So if I partner with God, if God be for me, everybody preaching now, he's more than the world against me. Do I have somebody in this church who say I can partner with God? Because when I partner with God, I know that God can do exceedingly and abundantly above all that I can ask or think, because I partner with him. Luke says, give, and it shall be given back to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men give to you. So we learned that Vicki Winers was wrong. That long as I got King Jesus, she said, I don't need nobody else. Come tell you that's a bold-faced lie. Because God will set you up for your network to determine your net worth. That it will only come for the people that you hook up and lock arms with. That you cannot get to your destiny by yourself. That even when the spies were going into Jericho, they had to stop by Rahab's house. And there is somebody in this place that's been leased in and looked down upon, but God is saying, season and for you to take over the world. And that God is waiting for a group of people that says, I'm not all about myself, that when my neighbor hurts, I hurt too. That when my brother is hungry, I'm hungry too. That when my brother is hot, I'll go fan him too. Because I see Brandon fanning and tearing all service long. Because they know that the power of partnership will take you to your destiny. Finally, it's hot. I'm ready to go. I got one more dance in me. And so, Brother Rashad, give me about 7 minutes and 38 seconds. And I'm going to scream D flat. I'm going to go. And then we're going to dance, okay? Yeah. Praise the Lord. Finally, we got two problems. We have problem placement. We have positive partnership. But then, finally, he gives me some good inspiration. There's powerful provision. Somebody shout, powerful provision. God is able to supply everything you need. I know there's deep and y'all can't shout out that. But there's some people in here, we've been wondering where the money was going to come from. We were wondering how it was going to get paid. We were wondering about the doctor's report. We were wondering about the college application. We were wondering how it was going to work out. But while you were trying to figure it out, I told you I feel like having church. That God had already worked it out, and God shall supply some of my needs. And God shall supply all of my needs. So it is not my job to worry, it is my job to work. The Bible says, verse number 38, he gives him how you get this provision. He says, pray. That's a cuss word in it by itself, because we've forgotten how to pray. God is calling us back to prayer, church. And you cannot get to your harvest without praying to the Lord of the harvest. He says, pray, but then get in position. Your position is that it is not your field to begin with. That it's God's will, it's God's bill. He says, pray to the Lord of the harvest that he will send laborers where? Into his harvest. And so it's not yours. And so you've been crying about your destiny. You've been worried about your church. You've been worried about your vision. You've been worried about your schooling. And God told me to tell you, it's not yours, it's mine. And when